Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Darius Plus for the NEC PC Engine. In this 1990 shoot-'em-up from Taito and Bits Laboratory, you pilot the Silverhawk starship to protect planet Darius from the Belsar Empire. Darius Plus is a port of Super Darius, which itself is a port of the original arcade Darius. It's admittedly a technical step backwards from its source material, so maybe it should have been called Darius Minus, but sometimes honest marketing isn't good marketing. Anyway, this shooter is a mix of familiarity and novelty. As far as familiarity goes, the gameplay is your tried and true stage gauntlet full of turrets and popcorn enemies, followed by a boss fight. And the mechanics are fairly standard too. One action button fires your cannon, and the other fires your missiles. Colored enemies drop colored orbs to power up each attack, and filling the power bar upgrades them. The cannon becomes a multi-shot with up to 3 streams, then a laser, which travels through enemies to damage everything in its path, then finally a wave beam which does the same thing but with more girth. The missiles start off as arc and ground projectiles, then upgrade to ground and sky, and finally cover all 4 corners. Your starship can also collect and upgrade shields, which envelop you in a shiny glowing aura, which is pretty to look at, but confusing to deal with, because it can disorient your perception of your own hitbox. Now on to the unique aspects of Darius Plus. First is the branching paths. Every level ends with a fork in the road, where you can choose to go up or down, or get distracted like me, hover in the middle of the screen, and crash directly into the rocky median strip. Oof. So even though you finish the game after 7 stages, there's actually a level for every letter of the alphabet if you're keen to revisit the journey on different paths. So as far as space shooters go, Darius is pretty much the king of replay value, and the king of the ocean, because the other novel aspect of this game, and the defining feature of the series, is its mecha aquatic visuals. Every boss is a robot based on some sort of marine creature, and their names range from, yeah, that makes sense, to, I have no clue what this has to do with fish. On one end of the spectrum, we have cuttlefish, which is a cuttlefish, and red crab, which is a red crab. But on the other end, we have electric fan, which is not in fact air conditioning equipment, but rather some kind of robot anemone. And of course we can't forget our boy, my home daddy. Okay, this one technically makes a little sense because it's a hermit crab, so it carries its home on its back, but that name will never not be funny. All these bosses look really cool and well detailed, but the stage backgrounds might be even cooler. There are eerie, barren moonscapes full of craters and pink rocket hatches, neon factories with glowing pipes and battleships that explode into bullets that look like medicine but may cause severe side effects such as, well, death, snowy interstellar mountain ranges with hopping green dudes who follow you around, tall underwater fortresses with guarded mechanical towers, endlessly receding crystal caverns with tiny robot croissants swirling in a croisscircle, and even the remains of some ancient civilization decaying beneath floating pink orb things. Also this one place that looks like it's made of brains. Or cotton candy if you're feeling a little more sugary. Now, concerning the sound design in Darius Plus, I could talk about the beautiful ambient chiptunes, I could talk about the excellent bloopy laser sounds, I could even revel in the punchy power-up chimes. But I'm gonna zero in on one thing and one thing only. The piercing, garbled death moan of these poor robot fish. Whenever you defeat a boss, you're met with this audio cue. Sure, it makes you feel like a triumphant victor as your enemy's cry emits neon explosions, but the haunting gravity of this muddled 16-bit wail is enough to keep me up at night and feel like even more of a monster than old electric fan and our boy my home daddy, who will never again return home to his father as he sinks into the dark depths of the ocean from whence he came. Brutal. And you know what else is brutal? This game's difficulty. Granted, I'm historically awful at Darius games anyway, but allow me to rant a little bit. Darius Plus is generous enough to allow for unlimited continues by pressing select on the title screen, and you have instant respawns whenever you blow up, but you always start back with your weapons at base power and no shield, which for me spells certain death. My solution was to play on easy mode, which is accessible by pressing both action buttons and select at the intro, and also to enable turbo fire on my controller. But that wasn't enough, so I started using save states at the level starts and bosses to maintain my weapon loadout. But that still wasn't enough, so I started bookmarking the game whenever I replenished my shields. And that did work for a while, but by the last few levels, I was getting so smoked that I just had to give in and set checkpoints anywhere and everywhere, and even burn all my lives on the final boss battles just to roll the credits. Darius Plus is merciless, but I think I know the one and only reason why. The enemy bullets just move way too fast. If I could change one thing in this game, I'd reduce the projectile speed by like 20%. And I'm almost positive that would change this game from a painful trial by fire into an incredibly fun and accessible space shooter. At least for me. That being said, there is still plenty to love here. I'm especially fond of the asteroid belt sections where you make big space rocks explode into little space rocks, and the manta ray boss fight, because he's got cool crescent laser wings. Pew pew pew! Overall, Darius Plus has been one of the most trying experiences of my shoot-'em-up career. Maybe it's my fault for trying to clear every stage and underestimating the power of electric fans, but in spite of all that, I'm happy to have played through this game, defeated the Belsar Empire and their mechanical army of home daddies, and risen victorious from the haunting, garbled wail of expiring robot fish.